Hello and welcome to Heart of the Matter. And I just want to, before we start this podcast tonight, I want to give a thank you to the old subscribers and to the new subscribers that have come into the channel. And from my heart, I just want to also say that, we come with our perspectives, we come with our insights and the conversations that we bring here to the channel. But we'd also love to hear from you. We'd love to for you to share your heart and to be able to add things down in the comment section as well. So if there's anything that you feel that resonates with you, then please do share. So that's all I wanted to say just before we start the podcast. And I just want to say hello and welcome to Chloe. And it's
Hi,
great to have you back. And
namaste.
yeah, and thank you. It's an honor to have you here, a sister. And looking forward to part two. Looking forward to carrying on with our last conversation that we had about care for our children. It's a very important topic. And we've got lots of great insights and lots of great things that we can share here tonight. So I just want to give you the space to be able to share and share your heart. So yeah, welcome, Chloe.
Thank you, Soul Brother. Yeah, and it's really nice to be back.
Good.
Um, I like you said, I think it's really important that we, as people, we do share our own experiences and our own insights because that's how we feel connected to one another. When we hear somebody speaking about something and we resonate with it, or it can make us feel less lonely. We spoke about this last night, Kelvin, how although we're on our own paths, um, it's our own individual path, having the connections with people, listening to things like this, watching things that really resonate with us can make it feel a little less lonely. So yeah, especially within our journey of life, we've got, the journey of parenthood. For me, for example, you might have the journey of, caring for someone, or, your career journey. So within our journeys, we've all got our own paths within those journeys. About my journey of motherhood, being a mum. And last time I spoke quite a lot about, the importance of the attachment in the relationship with parents and children, and how that's kind of deliberately been being torn apart. And I thought this time, to start with, I'd speak a little bit about how that relates to the knowledge that we want to pass on to our children, because that's what this podcast is. It's about passing knowledge on to our children. So, forming a strong attachment with our children from when they're babies. What that does, it should be a natural thing, and it should create that natural desire for the child to gravitate towards the parent. The parent should be like the compass point for the children. We should be their guide, leading them, because we do have more life experience and in most cases more wisdom. So we should be their compass point that they come to for guidance on life and many different issues. But the destroyers or enemies of life, they don't want the parents to be the compass point. They want these other distractions that we mentioned last time to be leading the children, to be leading them astray, and to, of course, provide them with knowledge, but knowledge which is actually straying them away from the truth. So if we don't have that strong attachment with our children, then they're less likely to come to us for the guidance and for the knowledge. And it's not going to be so naturally, passed on. It feels like I'm really having to make an effort to teach my children about what I consider to be quite fundamental things in life, about the importance of our connection to the universe, connection to nature, all these sorts of things. And I wouldn't say that for me personally, I don't necessarily think that is an attachment issue. That's more of the distraction issue. So you've got the two things going on. Even if you have a strong attachment with your children, there are still these distractions. So they may have a strong attachment to the parents, but then they can also form attachments to these distractions, which provide them with what I consider to be false information or even harmful information at times, and knowledge that is, it's not true. It's not true to life. It's not teaching them to be, true to themselves. So without a strong attachment, it's really difficult to pass on the knowledge to our children. And something I touched. Sorry, did you want to add something?
No. I mean, I'm just, just sitting here and sort of thinking, a lot of stuff you're saying makes in a sense to me, So for sure, yeah.
Yes, because we said this before, and it's so important to remember that the children, they are the children of the earth, and it's not only about having a strong attachment with the parents, but also, other adults in the children's lives. It doesn't just have to be necessarily the parents, but going back to the village and the tribes, because I love talking about that, especially in relation to raising children. All the adults are like compass points and guides for the children in that kind of environment. So it's not only the parents passing on the knowledge. In that situation, it's that the elders, all of the elders. Nowadays, children are spending so much more time away from their parents and with their peers. And I think I recommended a book during our first podcast. I'm sure I did, a book called Hold On to Your Kids by Gabor.
Okay.
And he talks a lot about how children nowadays are being raised by their peers. He calls it peer orientation. So where the adult should be the compass point, they should be orienting the children and passing on this knowledge. We now have children guiding other children. So the knowledge that children are getting, not only from internet teachers, a lot of it is coming from other children. So the other children are just as kind of mature and have, they don't have the life experience and the maturity to actually be raising children, but effectively they are raising each other. They are instilling beliefs and opinions in other children. Obviously, the more dominating kind of characters and personalities within peer groups are now becoming responsible for passing on knowledge, and where do they get their knowledge from? Okay, some of it may come from the internet and from films, from series that they've seen on Netflix or whatever on the internet, which again, in my opinion, it's a lot of it is false. It's not true. It's not the kind of knowledge that you want to be basing your beliefs on. Don't get me wrong, I love watching films and TV series, but I'm very much aware that the knowledge that is being, or the knowledge they're trying to pass on, having said that, there are some truth bomb, type films that do ring true to reality. But as a child, how do you distinguish between kind of how do you distinguish between whether what you're watching is like truthful or not? And without that strong attachment to a parent or to another adult who can guide you, you're just going to your peers to look for the answers. So
I was just going to jump in there actually, because when you said about the films and stuff like that, I mean, I've learned a lot more about what archetypes are, so I can see
Mm,
certain characters in certain films, and those archetypes will show me reflections of certain aspects of me. But
mm.
you only gain this knowledge as you go looking for it and stuff. So that's something that I found through researching on Carl Jung and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah. So once once we begin on a spiritual journey, it changes our view, or it changes how we view the world,
mm,
every aspect of our lives. So there are films that I may have watched as a teenager, or like when I was in my 20s, and I just kind of watched it. And now I'm watching them again, like 20, however many years later, and I'm seeing them in a completely different way. Like you said, I'm seeing, oh, that character, that, and that character's that, and I'm seeing things in a very different way, and I
mm,
to other things, and then you're watching those, then you can actually learn from them.
mm,
And I suppose to some degree, they can help you on your
mm,
journey, but I think that has to coincide with the kind of inner work and the spiritual stuff as well, which obviously most children are not doing. They're just being fed.
mm.
They're just being fed this stuff by the media, by Hollywood, or by their peers, or by their parents who have been watching the mainstream media and Hollywood films, and don't see anything wrong with that, which I didn't really when I first had children. I did have, I can't remember if I said this last time, but ever since I was a child, I have had a sense, quite a deep sense within me, almost like a knowing that we are being lied to
Mm.
on quite a big scale.
Oh
And
yeah.
I didn't, yeah. As a child, I didn't know how to to really articulate that, or how to go about like starting a conversation with somebody about that, because nobody else was talking about the fact that we were being lied to,
Mm,
or um everybody else was just going along with everything as if this, what we were living, being told, was the truth. So I didn't really have the opportunity to question it, or I didn't really see a need to, or I didn't know how I would be seen if I did start questioning things. I didn't. So even as a child, I suppose I knew deep down there was an inner wisdom, whether or not that came from a past life, or ancestral. Maybe it came from my ancestors passing through that knowledge to me. It wasn't until um really until I had my first child that I
mm.
started doing research into um
Would you wish?
certain things.
Yeah. Would you say it was your intuition?
Yeah, well, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. I
Mm,
think whenever we have that feeling
mm. That's
kind
right.
of deep within us, that
Yeah.
knowing,
Yeah.
yeah, an intuition, or
Mm,
sometimes, yeah, inner wisdom, I think, is similar to intuition. But yeah,
mm,
it was, yeah, I had that.
mm, mm,
Um, I think there were a few times throughout, like when I was a teenager and early 20s, that I may have said the odd thing to some people, and they just kind of looked at me like I was a bit mad. Um, and now I'm surrounded by people um, who think in a similar way and feel a similar way, and they've done a lot of research into things that go on in the world and how the world really works, not how we're told it works. And
mm,
so I I don't feel like I'm the only one now. I
mm,
know I'm not the only one. I know I'm not mad.
mm, mm,
Um,
mm.
so actually, this really relates to my children as well, because um, spending time me spending time with other people who have the same kind of knowledge as me now, and then obviously bringing my children along, and my children being around these sort of people, it's almost like creating that feeling of the village and the tribe, even if it's only for a few hours each week. you know
Mm.
they're in that environment whereby they're with adults who are wise. I'm not saying that people who don't know what's going on are not wise, but they're with like-minded people who who see the world in a similar way to me, and my children are being exposed to that, more and more, bit by bit, which
a
which for
more
me,
more healthier, a more healthier environment, really, isn't it?
yes,
Yeah.
yes, definitely.
Mm.
It is, yes, because as I said in our first chat, that it's only in the last few years that I've really begun on my spiritual journey and really started understanding how the world works. So it's been a bit difficult for my children to adjust to that as well. Like, oh, mummy now thinks in a different way and feels a different way about things. It's difficult enough for me, to adjust. I'm kind of quite well adjusted now. But in the beginning it was quite tough, and it was tough for my children. But having a lot of friends around me, and my children spending time with them, and then their children as well, they're realizing that I'm not the only one who thinks and feels this way. And actually other people are aware of this knowledge, and they're definitely, they are becoming more receptive to it, definitely.
It's good. It's good, and yeah, it's just nice that we have that sort of community. We're lucky to have that. It's nice. Like last night, it's a nice night. So yeah,
It was.
it's lovely because it's just not us adults, that get together. It's the children are there as well. It's fantastic. It's very special.
Yeah.
So yeah, I felt really a part of something last night. It's lovely. So yeah.
Same. Yeah, and the children are key to our new future that we are building. I'm really seriously looking into starting a community this year, and I really, of course, adults and children are equal in my eyes, but I want the children, to be really involved in it, because we have to pass on this knowledge to them, and it will be their responsibility to pass it on to their children. So they they have to be a big part of building the new future, and and have a say as well in what they want to see in the new future. Make them actually a part of kind of decision making processes as well. And a big part of the knowledge that has been lost or deliberately hidden from us is, just how powerful we really are as human beings. I think this is something that we really need to be teaching our children, is how powerful we are when we tap into that, source, light, love, whatever we want to call that, our creator. When we tap into that and we realize that we are a piece of the source, a piece of the creator, and we have the power inside us to, to manifest our own reality, to create this future. That's something that I'm really trying to get my children to understand.
That's really powerful, and thank you for sharing that, Chloe. Thank you, because that helps me even, and we need to be reminded of those things. It's just not the children, it's the adults need that as well. We need that,
yes,
to be reminded of these things. So thank you for sharing that. Thank you.
No, that's okay. So although this podcast is about passing on knowledge to our children, there's a lot of adults that I'm sure are either just beginning on their spiritual path, or they're already on it, but need a reminder. So this knowledge that we're speaking about, that needs to be passed on to our children, it also, so it needs to kind of filter down, but it also needs to spread out as well, not just be filtered down to the children, but spread out as well to other adults. It's that's just as important, really. But passing it down to the children, I mean, children love to talk, they love to talk to adults, really. They most children anyway, if they're in a safe, comfortable environment, they'll talk about things they've learned, things they've seen. So if, as a parent, I'm teaching my children about the power of nature, we're connected to the universe, and then they're in a situation where they're talking to other adults, the children can actually be teachers as well. You know, it's not only adults who can be teachers, it's the children as well. If they've got the knowledge, if we're passing on knowledge to them, then they can be teachers to other adults, to other children.
There's so much we can learn from, we can learn from children as well.
Yeah.
By their interactions and what they do. Yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, one thing I love about having kids is that it's really reminded me that, you know, of my own inner child. We all have an inner child, and it's really important that we tap into that inner child, you know, as often as we can. So having kids has really allowed me to do that in a much more natural way. I don't have to kind of remind myself to do it or like set aside time to do it. I just do it with them, you know. I've always been a mum who will really play with my children. Like, I'll get down in the mud and crawl around with them and have sword fights, and you know, and I love it. I enjoy it just as much as they do. Yeah, so they teach me every day to, you know, remember to really enjoy life and play and be silly and laugh and run around like no one's watching you, and be crazy sometimes.
Amazing. You know, because as you said that again, you know, it's very, very easy to, you know, especially, you know, being you know, adults, we can get into that mode of being taking life too seriously. And you know, I always get that reminder, you know, from what Ahmed said, you know, about how we take life too seriously sometimes. And you know, for you to share that is a great thing, you know, because children can really help us to connect, like you said, with our inner child, and not to take life too seriously. So it's amazing how we can sit and observe, and it does, like you said, it gets us back in touch again with our inner child and brings back all those wonderful, you know, memories that we have within us, you know. So yeah,
you know, by playing, we're using our imagination and all of that stuff. Using that imagination is, you know, it's good for like our third eye chakra. And it kind of makes us feel alive as well, you know. Being playful, it makes us feel more alive and refreshed and young.
yeah, you're only as old as, what's the old saying, you're only as old as you feel, you know.
Yeah, and there's
this on the outside is only just a meat suit, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. There's a great quote, and I've got it on my wall up there. I'm looking at it right now, and it says, we don't stop playing because we grow old. We grow old because we stop playing.
Wow. Yeah, that's a good one. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
And that's
good quote. That's a good quote.
Bernard Shaw, I think, said that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
And it is so true. It's really so true. And you know, if we were all living in communities, there would always be children around, and the adults would always may not constantly be playing, but they would always be surrounded with, or, you know, around children playing. So there would always be that kind of playful energy within the community, within the tribe. So I can imagine that people feel quite youthful when they live in that way, because there's always that young energy around.
And we tap into those energies, you know. That's the other thing as well, you know. We do. We do tap into different energies, you know. And of course, you know, children have that beautiful energy that's coming off of them, and of course, if you're in that field, you're going to pick that energy up. It's just yeah.
Yeah, this is another thing actually, because I wanted to sort of in this chat, I wanted to, you know, talk about what knowledge we should, in my opinion, we should be passing on. So I've mentioned about, you know, how powerful we are as individuals. You know, we're connected to everything, and also, you know, about energy, and about how everything is made of energy, and we can choose to put out positive energy or negative energy, and how it affects us. And these are all sorts of things that I talk to my children about, but I just kind of try and do it, as we go about our daily life, really just try and make it a part of our everyday life to be talking about things like this, and reminding them. And if I start feeling a bit stressed, I might say, right, I'm going out into the garden and I need to put my feet on the bare grass. So they're sort of starting to understand that that's a way to relieve stress for some people, and I come back in and I'm like, oh, wow, that felt amazing. So I'm kind of trying to lead by example and show them, not only tell them, but actually show them how healing nature can be.
Oh, for sure. I mean, nature, I like the I can't remember the name of the channel, but I like the name of the channel. It's called Nature is the Answer, and that's always stayed me that has that channel, that name, because nature is the answer.
It is.
Really is.
Nature, or creator has given us everything we need in nature to survive. Really, the plants that we have can be used to build, to make clothes, food, medicine. It's incredible. It provides. Nature provides for us everything that we actually need. Everything that is really important we can get from Mother Earth.
Absolutely. And I always remember nature being my playground as a child. I was always in nature, doing all these wonderful things that we do as children. It's great times. It's like you're in your own world and nothing else matters. That's the beauty of it. That is the beauty. We as we go into the school system, all of that stuff just gets sucked out of us. It just gets sucked out of us. It's almost like to try and disconnect you from that inner child. I believe it's purposely done.
Oh, I totally agree. I'm sure I did say this last time, that my children don't go to school. They've never been to school. That was another feeling that I had, actually, like an intuition. My eldest child went to nursery for a couple of years, and then they were talking about going to school, and something within me was like, no, this doesn't feel right. This does not feel right to me, for a number of reasons. But that school is, there are individual teachers who genuinely want to, do what's best for children, but as a system, it's there to, cut those ties, with everything that is true, to life. The importance of nature, connecting with nature, all of those things. It's all, everything is taught in a certain way for a certain purpose. It's actually, as far as I'm concerned, it's indoctrination. It's indoctrination, the school system. With home education, I mean, every family does it differently, but as much as possible, I want to be in control of what my children are learning, and the knowledge that they are exposed to. As much as possible, I want to be in control of that. I don't want the government to be in control of that. They still do spend time watching things sometimes when I'm working, which wouldn't necessarily be my first choice of things for them to be watching, but that time is quite limited compared to the amount of time that they're spent, with me or with other people, or out in nature, or doing other activities which don't involve the screen and the distractions.
And it's only because you said the word government, and we know what that means anyway in Latin. government means mind control,
Yeah,
and
to govern the mind, governmente. Yeah,
and to steer
to steer,
to
to
steer.
steer or guide the mind. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
I love the etymology of words.
yeah. Mark Passio is great for that. He's really good for that, Mark
Oh,
Passio. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. So actually, Mark Passio, I think, is a great. Well, he doesn't consider himself a teacher. He what's the word he uses for himself? Somebody who like passes on the knowledge, and I can't
yeah,
remember the
yeah.
word for it now.
Oh yeah,
It will come to me, but anyway.
a deer cultist. He calls himself like a deer cult. There's a deer cultist and a cultist, or something like that.
So
He uses, I think,
yeah,
deer cultist
he's a
or something like
I
that.
think that's
He played on the words. He used something like that.
yeah,
Something like that. I remember
yeah.
from one of his talks or something. Yeah. Mm.
But I think he can be, I mean, he might be a bit too full on for like young children, but I think that he could be a great person for like adults to go to gain some knowledge.
Mm.
Because as parents or even as adults, who want to try and pass on important knowledge to our children, of course, we first have to learn it ourselves. We have to gain the knowledge, and we can then find ways to maybe pass on that knowledge to children, in maybe a more child friendly way or in a
Mm.
more simple way.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Because when he speaks, he uses some incredible words. That's one
Mm.
reason I love watching him, because I'm a linguist, and
Mm.
the way that he talks, I just really love the words he uses. So yeah, you might need to simplify it, for some kids, but he, talks. I watched a whole seminar about natural law, for example. So I've been having some conversations with my children about that recently, and
Mm.
it's it's basically the fundamental truths of life, natural
Mm.
law,
Mm.
or basic truths. And I was quite happy to know that one of my children was like, well, it's just common sense. And I was like, yes, well, it is just common sense. But
Yeah, yeah.
unfortunately, we've
Mm.
been indoctrinated or
Mm.
brainwashed,
Mm.
like to forget that, or
It's like
to kind of,
yeah. It's like it's drummed
yeah,
out. It's like it's drummed out of you.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
If you choose to listen to your your inner being,
yeah.
the inner you,
It's there. It's there.
it's there. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. So that's something else that I'm trying to pass on to my children, is how important it is to listen to that inner voice.
Mm.
Listen to yourself and your intuition, because
Mm.
we've all been, you know, we hear these things like, oh well, gut feelings aren't always right and things like this, but I honestly believe that our intuition is our greatest guide. It should be the first thing when we learn how to really listen to it
Mm.
and trust it,
Mm.
and stay true to it,
Mm-hmm.
and not
Mm-hmm.
question it, because
Yeah, yeah.
sometimes we'll get a thought that pops into our mind about something, and then we think, oh no, that can't be right, because we've been taught to question things, but in the wrong way.
Mm.
We've been taught to kind of doubt, not
Yeah,
question, doubt.
yeah. I
We've
bet.
been taught to doubt ourselves.
Yeah, because it's a funny thing as well, because we talk about the mind. We talk a lot about the mind on this channel. And
Mm.
the interesting thing is yes, of course, we have a mind, but we have a body as well, and there's a what I
Mm-hmm.
call a body intelligence as well. It's our
Yes.
body's an intelligence. So you've got the mind, the body, the soul. It's all connected.
Yeah,
And sometimes when things are going on
it
in
is.
your body's keep trying to communicate and trying to tell you things as well.
Oh,
It's just
100%.
amazing how it's all, the body, the mind, the soul, it's all connected. It's just,
Yeah.
yeah. Mm.
Our body constantly talks to us.
Mm.
And
Mm.
again, this is another thing that I believe we should be passing on to our children, to, yeah, if you have an ache or a pain or something, you listen to that. Tap into your body. What is your body trying to tell you? And then learning how to self heal as well, because I believe that we are incredibly powerful beings, and we can actually heal ourselves I'm not saying we could, heal ourselves from any illness or disease that we had, but we are capable of quite strong healing with the help of some plant medicine and herbs and things like this. We are capable of that, and now that we are relearning all of this, and we're this knowledge is being talked about more and more, it is essential that our children know about these things, and that it doesn't just kind of fizzle out again. It's resurfacing, and we need to make sure that it continues, this knowledge continues to be spread and not just kind of die out again with our generation.
Well, I would like to add on to that, and that is that it's very easy because like all sort of the the pandemic and whatever, it's all sort of died down, that part of it, and that we know that they're turning up the old dial with the madness. We just see it every day. It's just getting madder and madder, and it's like, I'm in this game, but I'm just passing through, and that is exactly it. I'm not on that, I mean, I had a little chat with Ahmed behind the scenes last night, and I remember he said, I'm not on the chessboard. I said, no, neither am I. I said, I'm not on that chessboard.
No, I'm not. I jumped off that a long time ago.
I'm not being played by that anymore. You know what I mean? And but it is like that, and it's just remembering that, at the end of the day that, just because it's very easy for people to fall back into their comfort zones, to get too comfortable again. And it's just like, no, I know that I have that will inside of me that just wants to keep going and keep putting it out there, and getting people in the channel, sharing, whatever it may be, bringing it to the channel and sharing, their uniqueness and what they've got to give to humanity, because we've all got something to give to humanity, in our own unique way. We just do have certain areas that really resonate with us, and the areas that we really work on and want to share and stuff. And you may one day have something that we'll go, wow, we never seen it like that. We never saw something like that. It could be something that could completely just steer us in another direction. These are the things that I'm always looking for. So
that's why I love what you're doing, Kelvin, because it's all about knowledge and sharing experiences, and we are all very unique, and I've met some incredible people over the last few years. So if it wasn't for the fucking pandemic, I never would have met them. So actually, I'm quite grateful in a way that it's happened, and I do believe that it did need to happen for a number of reasons. But for me, the thing that I will remember about it is the fact that I met so many incredible people who I have connected with on another level, that I've never connected with. I've kind of drifted through my life, like thinking, oh, I found my tribe. No, okay. Oh, now I found my tribe. Oh, no, I haven't, but now I have. I really know that I have. And the friends that I have around me now, I know they will be my friends for life, going into this new future that we're building together. We've all got our own journey, but we have a similar vision, for the future. We want similar things, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful for that time. It was hard at times, I'm not going to lie, and even now it's still hard at times. I've still got family members, okay, kind of distant family members, but family members who are dying as a result of taking the vax and stuff. So it is hard. It's not an easy time to be alive, but it's an exciting time. It's a really exciting time, and I think it's especially exciting for the children, because they're the ones that are going to be the ones, I think, that really bring about the change for the future. We are here to kind of start that ball rolling, but it will be our children who really see the big positive changes.
Yeah, and this is it. It's Even now, I still go on the bus, sometimes to where I'm going to travel to meet the people and stuff like. And there's still some people, that are still wearing the muzzle, and
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
just still in that, that place, and but that's their choice, and
Mhm.
you know, yeah, it's just it's just the only way I can describe it is just they've so cast a magic spell on some people. It's just the
Yeah.
way it is. It's a magic spell.
I heard somebody, right back in 2020, I heard somebody say, that it feels like the whole world, has gone to like a hypnotist show, and like a large number of the population were hypnotized, but then like for people like you're right, it didn't work.
Mm.
So we're all sat there watching this show like, hello, wake up. Like we haven't been hypnotized, but they all have, and to us it seems so blatantly obvious that they are walking around hypnotized, but they're quite happily going about their lives. And yes, it is a choice. I agree with you, it's a choice. I do believe, though, to some degree, that those people are victims of a psychological operation.
Oh, of course,
Yeah, they
absolutely.
are
Yeah, of
victims. They have
course
been
so.
totally brainwashed,
Yeah,
indoctrinated, however you hypnotized,
yeah,
however you
sure.
want to,
Yeah,
articulate that.
I'm right there with
Um,
you on that one, sister. Right there with
yeah,
you. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Mm,
So
mm.
they do have a choice, but at the same time, the the way that basically their mind has been done a number on completely. Their
Mm.
mind has almost been taken control of. Government, the government have done what the government, of course, will do, and they've literally steered their mind and controlled it. And that's more, you know, people say, "Oh, we don't want another World War III." Well, I've heard a lot of people speak about the fact that actually we are in it, but this time it's a war on the mind.
Yeah,
It's not a
I
war
yeah,
with
that's
weapons.
how I see it. We're in a
Yeah,
spirit. We're in a
it's
spiritual
a
war.
spiritual war.
It's a spiritual
Yes.
war.
Yeah.
And I believe that there are these entities as well. I mean, like, I call it archons, the archons and things like these things that come into your mind and you like think that's not me. And it
Yes.
pops into the ether and stuff like,
Yes.
and it's not it's not you. So yeah, I do believe that there is, on a spiritual level, there are things going on. There's
Mm,
a spiritual warfare going on, and
yeah.
some people can't grasp, but I know that the enemies of life, because a lot of people, all they see is the government, and it's not the government, it's what's behind the scenes and what's going on
It's
there.
behind. Oh, yeah. They're
And
just puppets.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And we know that they are the ultimate sort of psychologists, and they know all this.
Mm,
The knowledge that we seek and the knowledge that that we're looking for, whether it's through the esoteric alchemy,
mm.
and all the stuff that we're researching and we're looking into, well, they've got it all. They've got all
Oh,
that.
they have.
They have all that information,
They have.
but they're
Yeah.
using it. They're using it for their own benefit and for their own,
Yeah.
which is
That's the
control.
dark side of it. Yeah, yeah,
That's it.
yeah.
You have your
Yeah.
light. You
There's
have.
dark and
And
light.
they're
Mm,
using it. They're using it in a way just to control people and stuff.
yeah.
They don't want to use it to benefit, and stuff. But
No. And that's, sorry, I don't want to
no, you carry
interrupt.
on. No,
Um,
that's fine. It's just what I felt I needed to say.
yeah, that's why they've hidden that knowledge from us. And
Mm.
yeah, I I I really get what you're saying about these, what did you call them? Or Aurons or
The
Ar
archons.
Archons?
It comes from the Gnost. I mean, I don't go along with the Gnostic thing. So, I go along with Gnosis because all the word Gnosis means is knowledge.
Yeah,
And stuff. Now, I don't really go along with the sort of the Gnostic teachings.
okay.
But they talk about the archons and the demiurge, and
Yeah,
we are in a spiritual war,
yeah.
of some sorts,
Mm,
And I've always been one of these ones anyway that is I know, you know, that there's these other realms, but I've also known not to tap into those certain realms because you know, again, you know, you're messing with things you shouldn't mess with. So
yeah,
I know,
yeah,
but
the dark side.
we're definitely in a spiritual war. That's sure. Yeah, and we talked about it on one of our chats. Me and Ahmed. We called it what was it? Escape from Arkham Asylum. You know, because we see,
Yeah,
we see this what's going on, and a lot of people, and you know, we have to go back to this. You know, it's very easy for people to turn around and say, "Oh, they're doing this out here now, and they're doing that, and it's all really crazy, and it's all up, you know, it's all, you know." But where it really starts is with us on
oh,
it on an individual
100%.
basis, because you know
Yeah.
the archons are in us, and we have to sort that inner psychological mess
Mm,
that they've put into
yeah.
us over the years to find our true self, you know.
Yes.
And
So that's
that's very very important, because this is the problem. A lot of people will always go looking out there when actually the inner work starts with you,
Starts
you know.
here. Yeah. Yeah, that's something else I wanted to mention. So I'm really glad you brought that
Mm,
up, Kelvin. That was
mm,
something else I wanted to mention was about teaching the kids the importance of of I spoke about the intuition, but also of being very mindful of, what's going on here and our thoughts and what we're paying attention to and how we're spending our time, because that affects the way we think. So yeah, really, I've been speaking particularly to my oldest child about this
mm,
recently, about, being really aware of your thoughts. Are you spending a lot of time thinking about negative things? Because if you are, we have to find ways to break that cycle, because it's very
yeah,
easy to slip into unhealthy patterns, of negative thinking. And it's so easy to do that, but it's also easy to break out of it once you know how, and once you can get into new habits and new routines,
mm,
and then you start to feel better. Oh, actually, yeah, I feel better when I'm spending time doing that and paying attention to that. And it's, it makes the thoughts more positive. And then
mm,
it becomes, once you start doing and thinking more positively, you'll then be attracted to more positive things. So it's
mm,
like the law of attraction as well. I
mm,
think that's something else that kids need to be aware of, is that the more positively you think and the more positive energy you put out, the
mm.
more you're going to attract,
Yeah,
the more you're going to get back.
yeah. You know, Jason talks about it. We have like a sort of like an information field, you know.
Hmm.
And again, you know, it's about the field that we create and the field that what we bring into our field, you know, within
Mm,
us and stuff. So that for me makes perfect sense, you know. And you know, I'm working on my inner demons, you know. And but
snap.
yeah, but you know, as we all are, but you know, at least I'm in a better place than I was 2 or 3 years ago, you know.
Yeah.
And like you know, I can feel the change in me. I can feel this gradual change, you know. And
Me
things are,
too.
yeah. So we're you know, we're all
Mm,
on that journey, all of us, you know. We're all at our places that we're at, and you know, and we all go through things for a reason. No,
mm,
I don't believe in coincidence. I believe that things happen for a reason, you
yeah.
know. And
I've
sometimes
got
yeah, and sometimes we might go,
tattoo.
yeah, yeah,
Everything happens for a reason. That's what that tattoo says.
yeah. Absolutely. And sometimes the not so pleasant things, you know, are the very things that we struggle with, you know, and all that. But actually, again, it's how we look at it. It's
Hmm.
how we look at those things. And I have to remind myself of that, you know, if I'm in that place, just to remind me that's there because it wants to show me, it wants to teach me, it wants to help me to grow out of those very things that have kept me um yeah, it just kept me sort of like consumed so that I can't get on and live my fulfilling life the way that I should be living it, and
Mm,
expressing myself and so on. So all these little things that you're talking about, they help. You know,
hmm.
they do help every day. You know, it's like me in the mornings now. You know, it's what I do first thing in the morning. I greet the day. greet the day, greet the day, thankful for the sun. Thank you that it nourishes me, it nourishes the earth, all these little things. They're all great helpers at the beginning of the day when we
Yeah,
first get up. And then when we go to
reminders.
bed as well,
Mm.
So,
Yeah, yeah, reminding yourself that you are connected to that and that you are grateful for things. And being grateful, I think, is another a big part of living,
mm,
a fulfilling life. If we spend a lot of time thinking about what we don't have and what we want, or what the media is telling us we should have or we need to have, or
mm.
the latest trends and all that bullshit. I've got my oldest child here now saying that yeah, my youngest child spends quite a lot of time thinking about things that he wants or he needs. And then I often say to him, why don't you stop and think about what you do have? Think about what you do have. Think about all the things that you can be grateful for right now
Mm,
in this moment.
mm,
Just trying to, I'm not trying to control his mind, but I'm trying to steer him into a more healthy way of thinking, and
yeah.
seeing life in a more positive way, because it's
Mm,
so easy to get, as I said, it's so easy to get sucked into negative patterns and negative ways of thinking, which can get programmed into us.
mm. Oh, yeah.
There was
Yeah.
something else I wanted to share as well, actually, when
Please.
we were talking about the government.
Mm,
um I was recently watching a film. My youngest child is my son. I don't know how many people listening to this are familiar with Harry Potter, but anyway, um, one of the Harry Potter, well, it's obviously book and film, called Order of the Phoenix, and in that particular book and film,
mhm,
um, the Ministry, which is like the government,
mhm,
are lying about a particular character, and in their newspaper they are putting a lot of lies out about him. And some of the characters in the film are talking about how, all the ministry are lying about so and so. They publish nothing but lies. And my son actually said, Mummy, that's just like real life, isn't it?
wow.
And I just thought, oh, he gets it. He gets it. He actually gets it. And I
Well,
felt
yeah.
proud of myself a little bit, because I was like, okay, I am, knowledge is passing through to him. The message is getting through.
It's just one of those things, isn't it? Beautiful when someone, your son or your daughter shares those sort of, those moments with you.
Mm,
And
yeah.
and they've come to that realization for themselves.
Yes. Yeah, because of course I told them,
Mm,
for example, right at the beginning of the pandemic, it was nothing really to worry about, and they're making a fuss about nothing. But I tried really hard not to like force my views on them. I mean, there were times when it was difficult because I wanted to just scream at the top of my voice, we're being lied to. But I didn't want them to go into that place of fear and be
yeah.
scared about. That's what they wanted. They wanted everybody to be living in fear and to be scared. So I really didn't want my children to go into that place.
Mm,
So I wanted to make it quite clear to them, this is nothing to worry about. And at times they did question me, which is good. I want them to question me
yeah.
about things. I don't
That's,
just want them to
yeah.
necessarily believe everything I tell them.
That's very healthy. Very,
Yeah,
very
yeah.
healthy. Yeah.
So I did say, well, I can show you lots of videos, and there's lots of, um, you know, I had a lot of information from sources which I considered to be trustworthy,
Mm,
not the mainstream sources.
mm,
I said, I've got this information and I'm happy to show it to you. And if you want to see, so you can see kind of both sides of the story and make the decision yourself. But I don't think they ever really wanted to see any of that, even though at times they questioned it. I think they were
mm.
just a bit more curious about maybe why I felt that way compared to other people. But now, as I said, we have a lot more friends and family who are aware of the truth, and so it's now easier because children see there are other people who
Mm.
are who are like me.
Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah. So, is there anything you specifically you feel that you want to share? Is there anything that you want to give out? Is there anything?
Hmm. Not really. I think, yeah, first time around I shared a couple of books and that
Mhm,
song. And I'm sure I did send you the link for that song, but
mm,
I really do encourage people to listen to not only that song, but actually all songs by this musician, Paul Isaac. He
yeah.
is just so
Yeah.
uplifting and just
Yeah.
so
You.
positive.
Yeah. I know because it sort of really resonates for you, doesn't it?
Yep,
And that's the bit again. Isn't that the
yep,
beauty? Isn't that the beauty? The beauty that we all have our own personal, yeah, just things that we actually get enjoyment out of,
mm,
and but that makes us so unique, you know,
yeah,
and stuff like I love it, and I also love it when other people share different styles or different genres with me, and all
hmm
that. I know, I'm a DJ and I have my specific sort of electronic-y stuff that I do, but I like lots of other genres. When I'm at home, there's
yeah.
also I don't care if I like it, I like it.
I'm the same.
Yeah,
I'm totally the same. I mean,
yeah,
I would say
sure.
there's, some genres I don't really tend to listen to, but
Mm,
then yeah, like if something makes me like want to move,
mm,
or if it evokes some kind of emotion in me or
mm,
brings back a memory, then I'll listen to it,
mm,
you know?
mm, mm, mm,
Like I love it when people share music with me. I really do.
mm. And
I'm
even with your children, even
Oh yes, there's a band.
children. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
children have such a great time. You crank on some music, and
Yeah,
and yeah, you just see all this wonderful stuff start. Music is medicine. It really is.
it is.
It's
It
just
really is. And
yeah.
even music, but if we go in like a little bit deeper into that, like
Mm, mm,
sound can be a real healer. So
mm,
like the sound of drums, like the tribal drums is
yeah.
like so healing. And people go to sound baths or gong baths, which I've done myself a few times, and it's
Mm,
incredible. Like
mm,
it, it can actually be used to heal people on a physical level, but also spiritual and emotional.
mm, mm.
um I'd like to take my oldest child to one.
Wow.
I'm getting a head shaking. Like absolutely not. Maybe one day, maybe. Um, but yeah. I don't think there's really anything specific. Like I said, I wanted to mention, the things that I believe we should be passing on, which I think we've more than covered
Okay.
in this
I,
podcast.
I just wanted to make sure that you was very happy with what we're still talking about, or if there's anything you've missed and you'd like to talk about,
No,
so
I think that was
that's
it. I think first time around I
great.
was kind of very prepared. I had a lot of notes. This time I did sort of make a few.
Mm.
But obviously it's nice to just let the conversation flow as
Flow,
well. And
yeah, yeah.
hopefully I haven't repeated myself too much from the first time
No,
around.
I think personally
Um
it's been expanded on more, and it's really
yeah,
funny.
yeah, that's what I wanted to do.
It's really funny because I came across a podcast today. I've put it on. I'm going to put it underneath in the link for our
Okay.
viewers. It's a channel on YouTube called Eternalised. I can't remember the name of
Okay.
the
I
actual
don't know that one.
yeah, I can't. Yeah, so I can't remember the actual name of the video itself, the video description, but I'm putting it underneath anyway. It's there ready to go. But what I liked about it, Chloe, now this is
Mm-hmm.
amazing. Do you remember the last chat we had, our first chat that we had about the discussion we had with the children and stuff, and we talked about
Mm-hmm.
sitting around a campfire and sharing
Yeah,
stories. They talked about that
yeah.
very thing. I was just like, wow,
Oh,
and that was tonight. Yeah, I don't
yeah.
believe things are coincidence. That was meant to be,
No, it's a
But
synchronicity.
yeah,
That's a
boom,
synchronicity. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And I'm looking forward to that. I really am. I'm looking forward to I can feel spring's on the way. It's just around the corner now.
It's coming.
And I'm looking forward to us getting out there in the summertime. Doing a bit of camping, getting
Mm-hmm.
that fire going, having some music going, having the children there,
Yep,
sharing those stories. I'm looking forward to that, Chloe.
yep. me too. I've already done one woods trip. Was it not the weekend gone, the one before? Met up at a lovely spot not too far from where we live. Did my barefoot walk through the woods to get to where we were going. Yeah, had a fire. There was a few kids there. We cooked some food and just, sat around chatting. We didn't camp over that night, but yeah, we've already done our first sort of campfire trip this year.
Nice.
So yeah, there will be many more to come. Many
more.
Yeah,
I was talking about that today. So with a good friend of mine, and we were saying, it's getting to that time where we can sort of go out here and there, sort of, and do a bit of last year was lovely. Last year we found a place, I can't remember the name of the place now, but it was lovely. We had a fire pit there, and we just slept under the stars. Just a sleeping bag, and that was it. It was beautiful, and we could hear all the river and stuff behind us, and it was lovely. It was fantastic. Magical. Yeah, we had such a beautiful time there, such a beautiful time. But funny, I think I was told that we went up there again, or they went. No, that's it. They went up there, and now it's got no camping and it's got no fires. So they've completely put all these notices up everywhere. Because it was funny, because when we was there last year, and we woke up in the morning, was getting our stuff, and we totally respected our area, and we made sure we cleared everything, all the stuff behind us, and so we left nothing, no trace, no nothing, was really respectful. And we had this lady come up and said, "Are you all right? Are you sure you're all right?" Sort of very concerned about us being there and what we was getting up to. Do you know what I mean? Right. And I was sort of thinking, you're not concerned actually in the way that you're trying to project yourself, and it's so funny that now this time, they went up there, the whole place is now, there's notices up saying no camping, no fire pits, and all of that. Yeah. It's again, it's just one of those things, it's because, the thing is, we're just there, we're just enjoying ourselves, having a beautiful time, and yet there's people that don't want to see you having fun. They just don't want to, they just it's just a shame. It's just a shame, because we're not causing anyone any harm. We're just having that lovely moment, with being a family together and doing what we're doing, and stuff and all that. And yet, just people don't want to see you having fun.
No. And it could also be that maybe some people went up there and they didn't respect the land.
Oh, yeah. And
it could have ruined it.
Yeah,
for other people.
For other people, this is it. I mean, this is it. This is it. And you always, like you said, have to be reminded of those things, and always see the bigger picture, Chloe, don't you? You have to see the bigger picture. But and it is a shame, because then it does ruin it for the people like ourselves. That we went there and we respected. Made sure that we cleared everything behind us, that we didn't leave anything. Because that's I feel that's the right thing to do. On the land.
Yes, yeah. So, respect Mother Earth. I mean, I still know of a few good spots where you can go wild camping. So I have to.
Yeah.
I think actually last year you did come up to one of the places, but didn't camp over.
That's right.
So that's a great place for wild camping. And I've recently discovered another place which, at the moment it's all right for wild camping. So I'll introduce you to a few more places this year, Kelvin.
Yeah. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to getting together for a weekend, and like I said, just doing those wonderful things that we do in nature, and it's great because it's lovely that it's the adults and the children, we're all there, all having that wonderful time together, and this is what it's about. It's about sharing those special moments with each other, and with the children as well. They're just as much as part of that, and should be valued, very much within what we do,
Totally.
Yeah, it's a great time. So I'm looking forward to it this year again, being sort of, out there with you, out in nature, with the children.
Mm-hmm.
So Yeah, it'd be great.
Yeah.
So, well, thank you. Thank you for the wonderful conversation and what you brought here tonight. Chloe, and I'd love you to come back. And share more.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
And just take it where where you ever feel you want to take it. That's the thing. It's the beauty of this channel. I have this channel for the sole purpose that people can come and share their journey, share what they want to bring, in the hope that it will give something for the viewers that come here and listen. And and I want to be thankful, thank the viewers as well why I'm here, and thank the viewers that they come to this channel and take the time to listen. So I want to put that out there to our viewers as well, because at the end of the day, that's a nice thing to know that by the things that we discuss here, it's helping other people, and that we're starting to get some sort of feedback, and I'm just hoping that from tonight's conversation that if there's something that's resonated with the viewers here tonight, that they'd share, and put something down below, and yeah, this is what we want. We want that interaction. We want to build that community.
Yes.
I mean, we're doing it on the physical, but we're also doing it this way as well. Which is a great thing to do as well.
Yeah, yeah. As much as I don't like technology to govern my life, to be a huge part of my life. There's benefits to it for sure, because whilst we're not living in communities and tribes together, it is a tool for us to connect. So
yeah, and I'm thankful for it as well, because I've met some wonderful people through the internet, So, again, it's one of those things. It is a double-edged sword, as I call it. It has its good points. It does really have its good points, and but also I'm like you, I it's just being healthy. Again, it's just being healthy with it.
Yeah, having a balance, a healthy balance.
Absolutely, absolutely. I don't spend all my day behind the keyboard tap 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 tap. And no, I do what I need to do, and then for the rest of the day, I'm doing other things that I enjoy doing. Whether it's my music or going for a walk or meeting some people. And it's just nice. It's just nice to meet people in the physical. It's
you can't beat it.
You can't beat it, can you? So it's just one of those things. I've been very blessed, to meet the people that I've had on here, and stuff in the physical. So yeah, and may it continue, and it's just great. It's just great. We have this online sort of community, but also we have that physical community. So yeah, and that's why we're doing it. That's why we're doing what we're doing with the Connection Festival. So that's the very reason why we're doing that. To bring people together. What am I here for? I'm here to be of service. That's literally it. I'm just here to be of service, create something. Now I know what I do is what I do with the music, my style of DJing and all of that. And I have to be real and say it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. And I know that.
Yeah.
But at least I'm facilitating something and doing something in my own unique way. But what it's actually really about is it's somewhere where people can come, take the information that's been shared there through the talks. We're just there putting some entertainment on, by doing what I do and whoever else we have come in, do what they do. But the main thing is that people will go away, so it will empower them to go out there and say, to go out there and do something in their own unique way.
In their way, yeah.
And that's what
celebrate our uniqueness.
Absolutely. That's really what it's about. That's really what it's about, and stuff and all of that, and we're here to just facilitate that, really. So I think that's really important. Really important.
And I'm so grateful to you, Kelvin, for for starting the Connection Festival and for giving people that space, and and for this opportunity to speak on here as well. I'm really grateful, because it is a subject that I feel so strongly about, and to have a platform to talk. And I believe that whoever needs to hear it will hear it. You put it out there, and the people that listen to it will be the people that need to hear it for whatever reason, whether it's a kind of like a confirmation for them, or whether it's to teach them, or whatever it is. I do believe that this will reach the people that it needs to reach.
It's intended to reach. Yeah. That's it. It's that simple, isn't it? We're just here to just being who we are in the divine, the source, the all, just doing what we're doing, but and that is it. That is exactly what this is about, and this is why we do what we do, and it's wonderful to have this platform, and it's slowly building out, bit by bit, little by little. It's amazing, because I see it as it's organic. It's just organic.
Yeah.
And you put your intentions out there, you put your intentions out there, because all the time you do that, if you put your intentions out there, those things will come, they will come into, I'm a firm believer of that. It's good to put those images in your mind, put your intentions out there, create that field,
manifestation. As I touched on before, we are the creators of our own reality.
We are.
Absolutely. Oh, and that's literally I just wanted to burst into song then, because there's another song by Paul Izak, and it says, "We are not consumers, we are creators. We are not consumers, we are creators. Energy makers." And then I can't remember the next bit, but it just reminded me of that song. We are all creators, not consumers, we're creators.
Well, I'll tell you what we'll have to do. We'll get you to send that to me via email, and I'll put it in. I'll put it in the description.
Okay.
I'll do that.
Okay.
For our viewers and stuff like that. Yeah, because I always like your the songs that you've shared with me, and all that. I always listen to the words, because the words have got a good positive message, and so I'm right there with you, and it's great. It's great when you share those special moments with me, with those certain tunes that Paul Izak's creating and doing, and all that. I mean, I like the reggae thing anyway, that's I like reggae anyway, so it's not maybe not everyone else's cup of tea, but I like it.
No, but and it's just even if like reggae isn't necessarily your thing, even just listening to the lyrics, they are really powerful lyrics.
And that's really what it's about.
From his heart, they're from his heart.
From his heart,
and you can feel that, and
you can feel it.
I mean, the music that I listen to has changed quite a lot. I'm still listen to some of the stuff I used to listen to, but some of it I just can't listen to anymore, because it just doesn't feel heartfelt. It doesn't feel true. So this spiritual path is it's shifted me, I think, into things which are more true, things that I perceive to be more true.
More true.
Reality.
Yeah. And I think as well, it's about what we choose to nourish our soul with, isn't it, on a daily basis? The things that we put in, we decide to put in with inside of us, on a daily basis. I mean, I could sit there, listening to all the fluff that comes out of the telly, or certain things that you get on different channels and things like that. I have to feed my soul every day with things that are going to feed my soul.
It's vital that we do that. And I'm already thinking about part 3, Kelvin. And I think for part 3, I'd like to talk about it's in relation to the children. But maybe how we can be the optimal parent, obviously, in my eyes anyway, and what we need to do for ourselves in order to be able to pass on that knowledge and have that attachment, because nourishing the soul is a big part of that, I think. Nourishing our soul. Well,
that's amazing. So we know what's for part 3.
You've already got me thinking about that. So I've just made a little note of that as you were speaking, so absolutely I can kind of elaborate on that.
Okay. We'll go there on the next podcast
Definitely. I
for
think
sure.
I'm about ready for bed now.
Yeah, I'm feeling it as well after my like 4 o'clock in the morning.
Oof, yeah.
4 o'clock chat in the morning, and that from my good friend Joss, who had his 50th last night. So I had to be there for that,
Yeah. That is a
and
late one.
it was a late
4 a.m.
one. It
Yeah.
was a very good deep discussion. So like I said, it's not a usual thing that I do all the time. It's a very sort of one-off thing, really, because
Mm,
late nights I can't do late nights like I used to.
mm.
But every now and again, it's worth that late night, and
Yeah.
that was worth that late night.
It was
So
worth
for
it.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you for your time. Thank you, sister.
Thank you for having me again.
thank you for sharing your heart. It's just been amazing conversation. Really enjoyed the
Mhm.
conversation. And it's just been a beautiful flow. And yeah, looking forward to you coming to Connection Festival and doing.
Yes,
You're going to do a meditation there for
I
us
am. I'm
for half an
excited
hour.
about that. Yeah.
And I think we spoke about. Are you going to do a vegan curry? Is that right
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well?
I'm happy
Yeah,
to do that. I think I need to speak to you about some details of that. But yeah,
yeah,
I'm happy.
yeah,
I'm happy to do
yeah,
a vegan curry for our like
mm,
communal meal
yeah,
together. Yeah,
yeah. Because we thought what
really
we'll do is we'll do a
forward to it.
vegan and we'll do a chicken one and stuff, and then
Yeah,
then people got the option then between either the chicken one or the vegan one and stuff
mm-hmm.
and that. And then we'll have obviously other types of foods there as well through the day as well. People can
Yeah,
have as
yeah.
well, which Joy's going to take care of. So
I'm
yeah,
gonna aim for mostly alkaline as possible as well. So that's another
amazing.
way of eating that I'm
Yeah.
um trying to eat mostly alkaline.
That's
So
really, really good. Yeah, that's
yeah,
lovely. Love to hear that.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Mm, mm,
that's my aim, is to
mm,
provide that option
mm,
for people so they
mm.
can kind of see what it's about, what that
Yeah,
way of eating is about. If they want to give it a try, give it a try.
yeah, because that's funny, isn't it? Because Jay's last talk that he did was about alkaline, and
Mm.
you was already doing that anyway, wasn't you? I think from what you
Well, yeah,
yeah, you sort of want
I
that alkaline.
without
Yeah,
kind of realizing it, my
yeah,
diet
yeah,
had already become very alkaline
yeah, 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 yeah.
for other things that I had cut out and
Mm,
added and
mm,
stuff. It was already
mm, mm,
going that way anyway. So
mm,
now I'm just trying to get it even more that
mm.
way as much as
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah, amazing, amazing. Yeah. So anyway, so that I'll just give a quick rundown for the day anyway before we close. Bring this sort of podcast to a close. So on the day, we're going to be starting at 12. Well, doors open at 12 o'clock, and people can mingle for the first 3/4 of an hour. And me and Josh are going to do just a little 15-minute sort of presentation, and then we're going to have Alison Williams Bailey join us. She's going to be speaking about the Sami tribe and expanding on other areas as well. Then I'm trying to think. We've got Emma Stark next. She's going to do astrology, and then we're going to have I think, a little break after that. I think, or is it? Or yeah, I think we've got it. Yeah. So and there's going to be breaks in between. So there's going to be like 15-minute, 20-minute breaks in between. So it's a nice thing that people can then go away and reflect on things before they come back for the
Mm.
next for the next talk. And I know we've got Jay Ryan joining us as well. He's doing alkalinity, but he's going to be expanding on that as well. We've got Strawman joining us as well. He's a musician. He's coming down. I think he's Oxford. I think I might be wrong. Correct me on that, Joss, if you're listening to this. But I think it's Oxford. So he's coming down and stuff, and then there's going to be obviously then we got after that Ahmed joining us, who's going to be doing a psychology psychosomatics talk and expanding. It's all psychology sort of based and stuff. So yeah, we got him coming as well. So that's going to be the talks, and then we're going to have the meal, like you said, this sort of lovely meal together and stuff. And then we've got the entertainment in the evening time. Just to let people know now as well that the band that we originally had playing in evening time was a punk band. They're not playing; they pulled out. So it's just gonna only.
Oh,
Yes, they pulled out
okay.
and stuff and all that. They pulled out, I think, last week.
Right.
But it's okay because,
Mm-hmm.
you know, we've got Yogi Man coming down and join us from London, and he's going to be playing sort of reggae and sort of dub, and he comes with a positive vibe, like you said, with the vocals and all that sort of stuff and all that. And it's
Nice.
great as well because he will be able to play for a 2.5 hour set rather than originally was discussed an hour and a half set. Which is good because he's coming all the way down from London anyway. So, you know, it gives him more time to, you know, share what he's going to be sharing. And then I'm just going to finish up. I'm just going to finish off for the last hour and a half with a sort of a dub sort of techno sort of set for the last hour and a half, you know, and, you know, then we might just stop and maybe have a little meditation then before we all depart and go our ways and stuff at the end of the night and stuff. So, yeah. So for people, if you're interested, you know, and, you know, you'd write. Do you remember why? I don't know if you remember, Emma. There was a thing called "Why Don't You" years ago, and the theme tune was about doing something less boring instead. You know, about basically watching the telly and stuff and getting yourself out there and doing other things. You know. But anyway, yeah. If you're bored, you got, you know, please come and join us. You know, rather than, you know, just spending your day just, you know, maybe sitting in front of your computer or whatever it is you do. You know. Please come and join us, you know, and come and spend a day with us, you know, and we'd love you to be there, you know, and be a part of what we're doing, you know, because it's slowly growing, it's slowly building, and come to our home and spend the time with us, be a part of our beautiful family that we are. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. So, yeah. And thank you once again. And is there any final words before we bring the podcast to a close?
I just want to say I'm really looking forward to Connection Festival again. It'll be my second one. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Sharing delicious food. Hopefully it'll be delicious. I'm making some of it. And doing the meditation, and I really enjoyed the last one. You know, I gained a lot of knowledge, met some beautiful souls. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, and I have enjoyed this evening. I've thoroughly enjoyed doing this podcast with you again, Kelvin. So
and thank you. You know, thank you for your time. You know, it's just, you're a beautiful soul, and, you know, I'm just, my heart shines, you know, when I see you and what you bring to the channel. So thank you for your time, and looking forward to our next discussion.
Me too. Thank you for being you, Kelvin.
Much love to you, sister.
Love. Take care. Bye bye.
I know the time will come